the enemies of progress, and we will never work with them. The ANC, if it wants us to vote with them, because they no longer have numbers, they must change the DA out of the executive, then we can consider working together.
We did receive a letter from business, indeed, and I think we've seen the market's reaction to a government without the DA. R1 trillion wiped off the JSE just as a result of a market reaction to a potential that the DA would no longer be in government. And so I do think that careful thought needs to be given to the next steps, and that cool heads need to prevail. And I think that we need to sit down rationally and try and find a way through this. But that can only happen if there is a genuine commitment to power sharing. And I think that is very important.
We don't join the DA, we'll do what is suitable for the people of South Africa as the economic freedom fighters. The DA is part of the problem. They sit in cabinet, they make the rules. Now they want to come and grandstand and make it as if they were not part of the negotiations.
And
we don't seek to dominate government. We fully accept that we do not have a 51% majority. But equally so, no other party has 51% in the government of national unity. And that means that parties have to work together. They have to compromise, and they have to be allowed to have their voice heard loud and clear within that government. It is not tenable or sustainable to be a part of a government that cuts you out of key decision-making areas, whether that is economic policy, whether it's foreign policy.
We can promise you now, we will never work in a government that includes the DA. We will never work in a government that includes Freedom Front Plus. Those are the people who killed our own people. When we say this is the enemy, if you don't know how the enemy looks like, just look at DA, just look at Freedom Front Plus. Those are the enemies of progress, and we will never work with them.
Outcome of last year, and that electoral outcome is that there is no majority party. There are only minority parties, and those parties must work together. Now let me be very clear. We are committed to the government of national unity, and we entered the government of national unity because we think it is the right thing to do for the people of South Africa. But it then has to become a genuine power-sharing relationship. It cannot simply be that one party says to another party that consensus means you agree with everything we put on the table and you don't agree with anything that we don't agree with anything you put.
The EFF will only join the GNU if it seeks to benefit the people of South Africa, but not to compromise South Africans with what we've just seen, flaunting the laws of South Africa, not following processes with the budget process, actually forcing Parliament to adopt to a budget which most of the parties represented in Parliament do not represent.
Let me be very clear. The Democratic Alliance went into government because we want to help grow the economy and we want to create jobs. The economy and jobs are the top issue for all South Africans across all race groups. If we don't get our economy moving, then we will not create the jobs that we need. The reality is that last year we had 0.6% economic growth. That is not good enough. It's not fast enough, and it is not nearly enough to be able to advance our country forward on an economic basis. And therefore,
on the table, we must ensure that we make South Africa so prosperous that people don't want to leave South Africa to go to other countries. But then, ons moet dan vir mekaar sê, erken die regte van die Afrikaner. Ons wil hard werk om 'n toekoms te skep vir onsself, vir ons kinders en die toekoms
your time is up.
vir almal in Suid-Afrika. I thank you.
Honorable Chauke.